Hi fam, been meaning to make this video a while ago. Merry Christmas. It's still Christmas season until the baptism of our Lord. So I'm just gonna enjoy it while I still can. Although there's, I guess, the 12 days of Christmas. Yeah, I think it's part of the 12 days of Christmas. So I wanted to talk about quote unquote trad wives. I would never describe myself as such. And the reason why is because being a mother and a wife and a stay-at-home mom, all that, doing cooking and cleaning, that is just natural, normal female behavior. That's not, I guess, like traditional. I guess you could argue in a way, but I feel like the trad wife trend is a bit of a trend, and it's like stuck in the 1950s. And I mean, obviously that existed before then. It wasn't like a man-made creation, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. It's not a man-made tradition. It's just human biology and just the design by God for women. Sure, women might have other desires, pursue some more sort of career and such, but I just feel like it's normal and natural to want to be a wife and a mother. And I'm trying to keep an eye on the little one over there. Yeah, so I meant to do that before she was born, but life happens one ways than one. So yeah, it's not just a trend, and you can't just fit a person in that box of the 1950s. Although I guess there's like that is kind of like the stereotypical tropical version of the stay-at-home wife and mom. But I think it's like there's more. It's less superficial than that. It is not as stereotypical as that. There's different fashions that allow for women to dress modestly and with dignity. And I guess as a mother, you want to dress in like a respectable way, but also like reveal your femininity. And again, like we're not going to be scantily clad typically out in public. And yeah, we want to be respectable and respectful of our own bodies and our own selves. And to me, like there's some certain elements that seem kind of superficial. Maybe I ought to look into it more, but it's like almost like dress up sometimes is the trad wife trend. And I feel like that's been going for a while now. And maybe people are trying to be, women want to sincerely pursue like that lifestyle, and that's the only way they know about it. They didn't grow up with a mom at home, so that's their way to approach it. This natural desire in their hearts based on these tropes that are portrayed in the media. But again, it's not as tight and constraining of a box as you might think. It's not as superficial as it might look. Yeah, like we don't put on our makeup every morning, and it's like we don't really have the time to pause and put on makeup every morning. Although I feel like women make that a necessary part of their routine, even to like career women, to put on makeup. And but that's what I see, like when I first see like these quote unquote trad wives. It's like jarring to me, like you have time to wake up in the morning, put on makeup and doll yourself up and do your hair. And for me, it's like, yeah, let's get down to business. Most women, sure, they want to look decent. They want to seize the day. They want to, do personal care, personal hygiene and all that. But if they don't go to the extreme of putting on makeup every morning and doing their hair all 1950s like every morning, it's not as superficial as all that. And not to be like offensive or anything, but again, I just feel like that's kind of like a superficial understanding of a stay-at-home wife and mother. And it's like if you have you don't really have time for that. You got a lot of cleaning to do. At least I live in a house. I don't live in an apartment anymore. And even before the baby was born, it's like a lot to do. You gotta cook, and then you have to clean after you cook, and then there's the rest of the house to make sure is cleaned and in order. And then there would be room for like some hobbies, the sewing, I like to draw, and I made some ornaments and things like that. So to me, like, barely this time is supposed to make most of this time. Probably best to spend more of it sleeping, but to me, like, I want to encourage people that the stay-at-home mom wife life is a good desire. It's a natural desire, and you don't need like a trad wife label for it to pursue it, to be desiring it, and that it's beyond that. It's beyond that surface, like, fashion. It's not just like a fashion or a trend. And by that I mean like this look, like, oh, that looks cute, that hairstyle and that makeup. There's like something more beyond that. And then maybe these women can pull that off and incorporate that look. And that's just, maybe they just have that taste for that look of the 1950s. And also want to, pursue that natural desire in their heart to be a wife that stays at home and a mother. Oh, yeah. The shopping, that takes some time to drive out to the store and look for what you need for the house, for dinner, meal prep and planning. It's going to be a whole world of difference once the baby is in the picture and once she's born, in my case. So it's like prioritizing like her and of course my health and self-care needed for recovering postpartum, something that I would hope to discuss more, because I feel like the quote-unquote fourth trimester is not something that is discussed as much as the other trimesters. Sure, it's good, like, to talk about and think about the various stages of pregnancy, the first 3 trimesters, the labor part. Yeah, that was good to have the help that I had. I believe I shared that story. But also like the postpartum journey. But I've yet to, I feel like, have enough experience in it to really discuss much. We'll see how it goes. Again, like, time is short, so the focus is on making sure that my daughter is taken care of, that I get the rest I need. So that will hopefully be coming out later on. But I want to encourage people, like, if you're able to pursue the desire, women want to pursue that desire to be stay-at-home wives and mothers. I hope that you are able to do that, and that it is a natural desire to have, and it's not like a human made-up thing or lifestyle choice. It's like just part of our nature as women. So I encourage you to do that, to pursue that. And if you're able to incorporate like some sort of past decades fashion, then I guess more power to you. But I feel like you kind of can't all the time. And just to be prepared for that, because it did seem kind of trendy. And you're like, well, at least I was like, that's not going to necessarily always stick. Maybe if that's what you had set up from the beginning, maybe you can pull that off. But eventually you're gonna be so busy you're not gonna have the time to do your makeup and hair. And if you're okay with that, that's cool. Not to the extent that you might be used to if you're following that specific trend. And I feel like people on both sides, the feminist side and the more traditional side, are kind of fed like a stereotype, and not to be disappointed when you can't do those things. Like I'm glad you have that desire in your heart and you want to make yourself look beautiful. Like that's sort of part of like our nature too, but it's like in a way a little bit more of the superficial side. You can do the bare minimum for like beauty purposes, focus on hygiene and self-care, and then just embrace that. That's I guess I don't want people to be blindsided. If just the natural say home wife life, mom life isn't exactly how it is portrayed in the mainstream. So with that said, thank you for listening, and God love you. Bye.